Hi guys, this is gsno.com and I'm here with the Nokia 808 PureView, one of the most awaited phone of this year. Here we are. This is a camera bulge that you can see right here. 41 megapixel sensor on Nokia Bell handset. This phone was announced back in February and it was launched in the month of June, and you can find it on Amazon for $650. That's the official price they charge for this handset. And the handset is available in our version, the white one, or you can get it in black or red. This model we've also seen at Mobile World Congress 2012. We did a brief hands-on with the device and we were very impressed by the ability to pinch to zoom in order to zoom by using the camera on the handset. Now let me just tweak the brightness a bit and we'll get going with the review as soon as possible. Okay, so as I said, this is a Nokia Bell handset that has evolved from Symbian into this new branding. Now let's check out the design. When it comes to design, it's a 13.9mm thick phone, so it's pretty bulky. This bulge right here at the camera is the one that makes it so thick. Also the device weighs 169 grams, so it's also pretty heavy. It took 5 years of work to come out this piece of machinery, this brilliant piece of work from Nokia. With all the engineers they had and all the resources, they came up with this camera phone. As I said, it's a pretty thick phone, as you can see right here, but it manages to fit in the pocket and replace your average point and shoot camera. It does fit in the user's hand quite well. As you can see, the bulges of the camera is protruding between the fingers, so it sits well in the user's hand. It has a nice matte and grippy texture at the back, very easy to hold, no problem with that. And right under this case you'll find the NFC chip and of course the battery, micro SIM card slot and micro SD card slot. Now let's have a look at the ports, orifices and other things you may find on the device. So 41 megapixel camera sensor. Right here we got a speaker right below the writing, and this is the camera sensor per se, and the LED and Xeno flash above it. On the right side we have the camera button, screen lock button and volume buttons. On the left side nothing at all. At the top we have the audio jack, micro USB port and micro HDMI. Here's the micro HDMI right here. This lid I don't quite like, pretty hard to hit, to close. Also I don't quite like the opening mechanism of the lid of the battery on this phone. It's pretty hard to open, but once you get it cracking it will be easier to lift. So that's about it when it comes to design. You saw all the ports, slots and other stuff like that. We got a microphone right here and another one right here next to the HDMI. One of them is for noise cancelling, so it gives out very good audio calls. The front side is all glass, as you can see, interrupted by this unified button that actually is 3 buttons in one. We have the call button and call button and this menu button at the center, the one that triggers the apps and stuff like that. At the top we have the earpiece right here above the Nokia logo and the front camera for video calls. So that's about it when it comes to the design. Very nice design, pretty grippy case, and this is a 4-inch AMOLED screen with Gorilla Glass protection. And one nifty thing that this phone does is that once you press the camera key, it has a quick start straight to camera mode. So I just enter camera in a mere second, which is a very nice feature. Now moving on to the hardware, and first of all the display. This is a 4-inch screen with a resolution of 360 pixels over 640 pixels. So once again, this is a 4-inch display with a resolution of 360 over 640 pixels. A bit underwhelming if you ask me, but it handles 1080p video somehow pretty well. We got a clear black AMOLED screen technology in case you're wondering, and also we got Dolby technology on the audio side. We got special features for the headphones, you'll see that a bit later. Other than that, micro SD card slot, 16 GB of storage, 1 GB of ROM and 512 MB of RAM. Other stuff worth mentioning is HSDPA connectivity, 14.4 megabytes per second. You also get DLNA, Wi-Fi, Bluetooth 3.0, NFC, and as I said, the 41 megapixel camera that everyone is raving about, plus that front VGA camera with 30 frames per second capture. And inside the device there's a 1.3 GHz ARM11 CPU with a Broadcom GPU that handles graphics pretty well. Of course, we have an accelerometer, proximity sensor, compass, stereo, FM radio, and an FM transmitter, so you can transmit songs straight to your car stereo system and make this phone into your own radio. It's got GPS, and under the hood there's this lithium-ion battery, 1400 mAh battery, good enough for 42 hours of music. So you spend about 40 hours listening to music on this phone at once, and 11 hours of talk time, and about 3 hours of intense camera use. So that's about it when it comes to the battery. Moving on to the software, as you can see, I'm playing with Nokia Bell here, the follow-up to Anna. And now let me show you the browser that we got right here, and also the keyboard. So this is the keyboard that I installed, the swipe keyboard. And now I'm going to access gsndom.com to allow you to see the browser in action. Very comfortable keyboard. The original keyboard was good as well, but nothing beats swipe. I'm not swiping right now since there's nothing quite to predict. So we're on Wi-Fi, we're loading gsndom.com. If you don't like the main browser that comes with Nokia Bell, there's always the Opera Mini version. So here we are with the Nokia Lumia Nokia 808 PureView unboxing. The 41 megapixel camera phone is taken out of the box, and several other news. As you can see, the scrolling goes smoothly, nothing wrong about that. Let's try a little bit of pinch to zoom. The page fitting is a bit odd, the way the articles are fit to the page, but once the full page is loaded, let's try the landscape mode. Once the full page is loaded, reading the content is a breeze. Sadly, since the resolution is so tiny, you'll have to zoom in quite a bit. So that was the browser. This is Nokia Bell Feature Pack 1. You get up to 6 home screens, as I'm showing you right here, each of them with their very own wallpaper, and you get a bunch of new widgets. So let me show you. If you keep the screen pressed, you get the option to add a widget, shortcut, or change wallpaper. These are the widgets you can add. Some of them are toggles for Bluetooth, calendar, agenda, DLNA server, FM radio, images, places nearby, and lots of other stuff. This is the way that a toggle looks like. These two here are toggles. Some are for Bluetooth, some are for connectivity. This one is for Wi-Fi. We got an NSE toggle right here. We got a Nokia Social widget right here, my location widget, weather widget, clock widget, and this is the battery widget. So all sorts of widgets. There are 5 sizes of widgets you can have. There's also this pull down bar that I'm showing you right here. It shows me the updates, mobile network, and we also have these connectivity sliders right here for mobile data, Bluetooth, and the silent mode. This one, people claim it has been stolen for Android. Well, it was present before that. At the bottom of the screen we have 3 virtual buttons. We have this one that triggers the apps. This is the menu button. We have the dialer right here, so you can call people. And finally we have the home screen settings here to add widgets, shortcuts, to change wallpaper and stuff like that. So as you can see, the interface is intuitive, but it feels a bit antiquated compared to Android and iOS. Now let's see a bit of the settings. So let's see what you can set up about this phone. The time and date, speech, also language, the display, voice commands, sensor settings, accessories, phone management, security settings, power saving, factory settings, certificate management, and loads of other stuff that you can set up in the settings area, including connectivity, application settings, and privacy. So there's a lot to set up. Obviously we got that famous task manager. You keep pressing this menu button in the middle and you can see the apps that are running. This time you get a preview, not only a picture of the app, and you close them by pressing this X on the edge, and that's it. You've closed all of them down via multitasking. A problem I have with Nokia's operating system, the former Symbian, is that there aren't too many apps available for download, which I think is a bummer. Other stuff worth mentioning is that if you turn the phone with the face down, there's a feature that allows it to go to mute. For example, I must also mention the call quality is great thanks to that noise cancelling technology, and you can also use some sort of voice assistant. If you keep pressed the call button, you can speak now. So let's try again. Tony. So it recognizes the name and offers me the opportunity to call and other stuff like that. So as far as the OS goes, I've shown you the widgets, the pull down bar, the settings, the apps and everything you have on this phone. If you saw Nokia Bell before, this is what you get on this handset. Now it's time to test the audio video playback as usual. I'm going to go to the music library. We have quite a bit of songs right here. Now let me find some Depeche Mode and play this song. The volume, the audio volume is excellent. It's huge, great volume. Here's the equalizer. So these are the options that you have available. You have a bass booster, classical, jazz, pop, rock, or the default preset. We have some other options like song details, settings. We have a balance and loudness setting. And once you use the headphones, these are the Nokia headphones that come with the device. As you can see, the headphones are a bit angled, so they fit in the ear. It's a pretty innovative concept. As you can see, they're a bit inclinated. They're not the usual straight, they're inclined. So let's connect them to the phone and you'll see we have several Dolby options. A symbol of the headphones appeared next to the wireless area. And now let's see what other options we have. The equalizer stay the same. The settings offers the option for Dolby headphones that I've activated. The sound is absolutely great. If I were to give it a mark, it's a 10 out of 10 for me, that's definitely. The audio player is also pretty good. You can order stuff easily by album, by artist, by playlist, by genres. So if you pick genres, here we are, classical, dubstep, anything you have. It's also got a very good bass, so you have clarity, quality, loud volume and good bass. That's all you need in a device that plays music. Now let's put the headphones aside and enjoy some video playback, since usually in our reviews after audio we test the video. So let's go to this movie. It's called Red Tails. It's the story of some pilots. The videos also benefit from Dolby audio technology.
Where are the damn fighters going? Is there anything left of our escort? Mayday! Mayday! Prepare to bail out!
Our boy's getting cut to shreds.
I need pilots who will put the bombers ahead of themselves.
So let's skip forward.
By the fathers, we get back to their children.
Come on, Junior, battle!
Okay, so that's about it. You saw the great video quality and also that Dolby sound. I must mention that this phone handles direct sunlight like a charm, so it's very good for a camera phone since you'll be using it in direct sunlight a lot. If you watch a movie or read a web page in direct sunlight, you have absolutely no problems whatsoever. Okay guys, so it's time to find out the reason why we're here. We're not here to review your average Symbian phone, but this monster of a camera. So we've dedicated a very big section of our review to actually reviewing the camera on this handset. So here we go. I've shown you already that you can easily start the camera directly from standby like this. And now let me go back and start it normally, pressing the camera button from right here. And I've activated this monster of a camera. First I gotta give you some information about this device. I'm going to use this little guy as a sample to create some pictures right here and right now. First of all, some of you may want to create those burst mode pictures. This handset doesn't have burst mode. However, you can take several pictures one after the other. So if you want, you can keep the camera button pressed. You take one picture, another. Not quite that zero shutter burst mode that Android phones nowadays have. Anyway, we're dealing here with a 41 megapixel camera sensor. This is a sensor that's 1.2 inch in size. It's 2.5 times bigger than the one on the Nokia N8, one of the top-notch camera phones from last year. That one was very famous and it drew a lot of public to it in spite of its software problems. The camera has a dedicated ISP processor that helps the main processor to handle those big images. And the main idea behind this camera is oversampling, lots of oversampling. So what they do is take 7 pixels and create 1 pure pixels. At least that's what happens in this automatic mode that I mean right now. The zoom and everything about it is inspired by satellite technology, so you can have lossless zoom without moving optics. And also you must know that you don't want to have many aberration, you don't want to have distortions, you won't have problems with stuff like that. And the PureView mode allows you to get, here we are, this is the PureView mode. As you can see right here, you get 3x lossless zoom, so 3 times lossless zoom, stills, and up to 12x video in 360p lossless zoom. You can shoot at 38 or 34 megapixels with no zoom, but that's the full resolution mode. So right here, if you do 16.9 or 4.3, you'll do 38 or 34 megapixel shots. This is a 34 megapixel shot since it's a 16:9 aspect ratio. So this is a huge picture. As you can see, it applied some flash, and you can see the great level of quality and details applied to this little guy. For some reason the macro shots aren't that good on this camera. Nokia promised something between 25 centimeters and infinity. Well, at least the camera interface is simplistic, as you can see right here. We got the automatic mode that's for quick shots. The unprofessional photographers will love it. And then we move on, we have the scenes. These are the scene modes. So you get portrait, you get night portrait, macro, landscape, snow, sports, spotlight. This is the spotlight option, so if you want to film a concert, it's perfect for that. And then the experts recommend that you get some 5 megapixel automatic shots for more vivid colors and greater contrasts. In the creative mode, let's go to that. This one creates a more natural color reproduction, so that's why this one is recommended. Now let's go back a bit to the scenes and tell you about each option. In portrait mode, you will get some emphasis on the flesh, on the face of the subjects. In snow mode, for example, we have snow mode right here. It will increase the exposure. In spotlight mode, it's good for concerts, so when the light is heading directly to the artist and to you, you're fine. And once again, back to the creative mode, the 38 megapixel shots 4:3 and the 34 megapixel shots 16:9 aspect ratio. The PureView mode that you can select from right here gives you the option between 8 megapixels, 5 megapixel and 2 megapixel. In 16:9 you can select 4:3 aspect ratio and it will change to 8, 5 and 3 megapixels. Other stuff worth mentioning is that you have these custom settings, C1, C2, C3. This one will memorize the variety of options you select here, so super fine JPEG quality, color tones like sepia, black and white or vivid. So this is the vivid option. Let's go back, you can select sepia, black and white, So you can choose also saturation, contrast and sharpness, and the C1 profile will remember them. Okay, so other stuff that you can customize, let's see right here. Let's go to the scenes, creative one more time, in PureView mode. There is this option, the capture mode with normal, bracketing, interval and self timer. We've got the bracketing mode that allows you to take 3 or 5 images, as you can see right here, with a preset range of exposure settings. These are the exposure adjustment settings shown right here. And sadly this camera lacks the HDR and lacks the panorama feature, which I would really love to have. You can also see the 5 shortcuts here. Obviously this one is for flash. This one is for exposure with a histogram here. That's very useful if you ask me, this histogram. So let's reset it. You also got the white balance here. Also got ISO, and finally we've got this ND option. It's a neutral density filter. This one prevents overexposure when there's too much light. And once again I have to say, you'll see it right now, that if you try a macro shot it won't turn out too good, especially if you're too close to the subject. It won't focus right, but if you're in a distance it's actually pretty decent. There's also the option to edit pictures, but we'll address that later. And as I said, Nokia promises 15 centimeters to infinity, and this camera is great in low light. You'll see that if you go to a concert. Now moving on to the video area. Here things are pretty much the same, except that you get continuous autofocus enabled right here, the same automatic scenes and creative mode. You can do full HD video, 720p. You have frame rate, color tones, here saturation, contrast and sharpness. And I must say that the clips are handled in 1080p full HD video, 30 frames per second, and they're MPEG 4 20 mega per second videos. So that's the bitrate, 20 mega per second. When you do a 1080p video like this, you can zoom in for up to 4 times, so that's a lot of zooming in. But let me deactivate the macro mode first. Okay, so you can see here the frame rate that we have. We're doing full HD video, that means that we get 4x lossless zoom. If you move to 720p you get 6 times lossless zoom, and if you move to 360p you get 12 times lossless zoom, obviously. There's also that famous Nokia rich recording that everyone is talking about. That's the ability to also record quality audio with the video. You can do 128 kilobytes per second stereo sound with a sampling of 48 kilobytes per second. Nokia promises CD quality out of your average recording. This device can also film very well, even if the sound surpasses the barrier of 140 decibels. That's as big as a fighter plane, fighter jet. And now I promised you to show a photo editor. That's what I'm going to do. So let's take the picture from earlier, this little fellow right here, and we have the option to edit him. So I've selected edit. Let's try another picture, maybe one that doesn't need to be turned around so much, like this flower for example. So I select edit, and you'll see all the many options that we have and we can customize. So we have auto levels, auto contrast, brightness, red eye, contrast, saturation, and red, green and blue. There's also the option to flip, crop, resize, some effects, a lot of effects actually, many effects to have fun with. And let's see, clip art, some pretty frames that you can apply, all of the cute stuff that you're probably used to from the Nokia N8 times. That's how you can edit the shots we take with this device. And now I'm going to show you a video that I've taken using the phone, and this one is taken from about 300 meters from a mountain, and it's filmed great. So you can see the quality, and you'll see me zooming in, and the zoom is great. Prepare for the zoom. So that's how incredible this camera is. It can zoom in, so from 300 meters you can clearly see the stadium or the church in a town while you're up on the hill or on the mountain. So that's a pretty cool feature of the Nokia 808 PureView. Okay, enough about that. I hope I didn't bore you with this very long review. I must show you something that I really like. So if you want to zoom in while photographing a subject, you can either use the volume buttons to zoom in on this little guy, or you can use the pinch to zoom gesture like this. This one brings you to the maximum supported zoom with lossless quality. So you simply pinch to zoom this little guy, a very nice feature. Okay, now I'm going to show you what apps we have included here. Obviously we have the contacts list like this. You also have a lot of options added to each character. We got the gallery, calendar, mail, obviously we got the Nokia store, we got the maps. Here are the maps. This is the classical option that you already saw on other devices. These are the options. You get a map loader. You also get some settings right here like general, map and walk. You get some driving options, colors, voice guidance, stuff like that. You can search for certain addresses or certain landmarks, and this is the map. These are the options you can apply. You get satellite view, map view, 3D view, and that's it. Okay, so moving further, there are also some very nice apps. You have a zip archiver, you have YouTube, Nokia Drive app, Adobe Reader, Colorize It, a very nice app to edit your pictures, make them black and white and make a certain part colored again. And this app that I like very much, it's called Silent Films. It's Silent Film Director actually. So you press action, you select some effects like black and white, 16:9 home video, sepia. You go back, you select the quality, back again, you select a certain soundtrack, go back, and a time scale to select this to speed down or slow down the video, and you create a mute video with music, something very cool and pretty hipsterish if you ask me. So that's about it when it comes to the Nokia 808 PureView. Excuse the very lengthy review, but this exceptional camera has got to have a long review. So it's time for our usual pros and cons of this device. On the pro side we have the camera, obviously, with its exceptional 1080p capture, good bitrate, good frame per second, rich audio recording, and great sensor, the oversampling technology, the great LED and xenon flash, the LED video light when filming at night, great low light performance, exceptional audio quality in both headphones and its speakers, great video quality when watching movies, great behavior in direct sunlight, good design, presence of HDMI port. The flash is very good. The interface of the camera is also pretty simple and easy to use, and many bundled apps can also be a plus. As you can see, you have quite a bunch of them. On the cons side, well, the operating system is a bit slow and old. The multitasking system is not that efficient, so if I download an app right now and begin installing it, the installation process will block any other activities. Also, the CPU is a bit antiquated, the phone is a bit too thick for the usual user. The case opens pretty hard, the HDMI cover is pretty hard to close, the battery doesn't last as long as I'd like, so merely 3 hours of video and photo capture. Also, there aren't very many Nokia apps in the Nokia store nowadays, and the price is pretty big. That's all about the Nokia 808 PureView. We give it a 9 out of 10 for design, a 10 out of 10 for hardware, and a 7 out of 10 for operating system. The total is 8.66 from gsndome.com. Hope you like the review. Once again, sorry as it's too long, but it's a unique phone we got right here and it's well worth the hype. This is gsndome.com. Hope you like the review, and we'll be back with a text review and samples in the following days. Bye bye.